thing I'm doing here now, it's usually what drives people crazy in my craft. It's the same paper here. It's so fine that I can't even measure how little the amount of felt is that I take off. But it's like when I hit the right point, it's there. The sound is there. So in practice, it makes all the difference. Now I have worked with getting power to the instrument, punch and richness of the tone and dynamic range. So now it will like just go in all directions at once. But when I'm finished later this afternoon, it will hopefully feel like 88 notes just on one line from bottom to top. So that's the goal. If you quickly develop your skill as a tuner, it shows that you have a good tempo, a good pace in your working rhythm, and that you have a sharp hearing. You're able to hear intervals between tones very fast, set them very fast. If you're a fast tuner and a precise tuner, you will also be a good voicing technician, because that's about hearing the tonal character and kind of separating things within a tone, because a tone is not one single tone. It's a basic tone and then a spectrum of overtones. I think one of the great arts of this trade is to say no at the correct moment. And when you're young and you begin, of course you don't say no, not even once, because you're hungry, you want some work. So you do a lot of old stuff, old bad pianos, and you try to get them better, and of course they will be a little better, but still they will be very bad, and maybe all your working hours are just wasted on something that should be thrown out. Sometimes it can also be necessary to say no to an artist if their demand is not within reason. If they want the voicing of a concert grand to be completely muffled and like cotton and very, very soft, then you have to like draw the line, because somebody else is going to come after them, and you can't sabotage a 1.3 million kroner grand because one artist wants a very, very soft sound, because it's not very easy reversible. Yeah, it is the Steinway, I think, because it's, in fact, I think that if you're a good tuner, the Steinway is the easiest to tune, because it has a good friction in the tuning pins, and the string has a good friction, and the sound is very open, and like it's very easy to hear overtones and what's going on. So there's not anything masking what you want to hear. A Steinway concert grand, that's the most easy instrument in the world. Maybe the most important thing is the people. The people at the Steinway factory in Hamburg is a collection of the best in this business. They are very enthusiastic about what they do. They are relaxed, even though they produce the best quality in the world every day. Steinway is very conscious about maintaining this working atmosphere, so that does a lot. And then I think that it's a question about materials and construction. The Steinway materials are selected in a way that is not possible for others to do. It's a costly process, and but they have been doing it for 160 years. So everybody that delivers something to Steinway, they're just used to that. Okay, if Steinway is going to buy a piece of felt or leather or wood or whatever, they will like open it up and look at it with a microscope and subject it to all kinds of stuff, because it's the German way, you know, you have to know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, it's a completely different setting. It's quite interesting, this concept. This is also a Steinway, even though it's the smallest Steinway you can get. It's the smallest piano from the factory, but still it has a huge dynamic range. It has a lot of punch. So if we imagine that this was in a larger room, I could voice it in a way so that it would be more bright and open, and it wouldn't sound hard because there's air enough to take the dynamic. But in here, in a smaller room, you have to keep the sound a little more mellow. So a little more pleasant, you could say. There will be plenty of sound, even though I make it a little softer. As piano technician, you're kind of in a symbiotic relationship to the pianists all the time. For instance, Carsten, he's one of those pianists that actually hears the tuning, and he knows how to put words on it. So that was one of the very first things I experienced with Carsten, was that he made some controls of the tuning, which normally piano tuners do, but he knows them too. That helps a lot.